banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yes, you could be sitting in the Hall of Fame and the world will know your name. What a beautiful song from the script and Will I Am. I always look forward to hearing the song because, of course, it shows up on a Thursday evening and sets the tone for a very wonderful conversation on Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Lexis Bill and I've taken my seat. And when I do that, you know there's somebody important in the other seat. Yes, this evening I have one very intriguing conversation for you. And if I were you, I'd just probably fetch some glass of wine or some juice or something like that. Turn up the volume a little bit, kick your feet up in the sofa, tell my friends about it that, hey, Personality Profile on Joy FM with Lexis Bill is on. Or you can actually head on down to our Facebook page where the video for this conversation is live and you can share it with the rest of the world. Look, this evening I spent time with a very phenomenal woman. Yeah, she's done a lot for Ghana in so many spaces, mostly in communications and PR. In fact, we actually call her the face of corporate communications in Ghana. Yes, she is. She's a multiple award-winning communications specialist with over 40 years experience in the local and international communications industry. CEO of Strategic Communications Africa, Ghana's premier communication agency, which she established 30 years ago. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, we celebrated the 30 years anniversary. Yeah, isn't that cool? It provides a 360-degree communication services and products to organizations, public, private, local, and international, as well as individuals. Earlier this year, she was elected president of the Institute of Public Relations, IPR. Yeah, she's going to serve for a two-year term. She previously served on the Council of the Advertising Association of Ghana, AAG, as well. Currently, she serves on the advisory board of the University of Ghana College of Education, which includes the Department of Communication Studies as well. She serves on the board of the International Public Relations Association, IPRA, and on the international awards judging boards of IPRA as well as the Bulgarian Public Relations Awards. She was actually one of the pioneers of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, establishing the Public Affairs Department of the corporation. She has established a number of initiatives which have become very well known in Ghana. I'm sure you know about the Ghana Garden and Flower Show. It's actually a whole movement, but that show happens every year, and I'm looking forward to this year's episode. She established Women Soaring Higher, Achieving Real Excellence as Women Share, Nature to Bloom. She established an NGO called the Center for Development and Intercultural Communication. She authored the book Dare to Be. That's actually a book that celebrates a number of women who dare to overcome barriers to realize their dreams. And that really epitomizes who she is. She dared to be, and today she's here. Madame Esther Amba Numaba Cobbah is my guest on Personality Profile. Well, maybe there's one other thing that you didn't know. She was such a good dancer. I mean, a few weeks ago, you should see her on the stage at the UK Ghana of Chamber of Commerce Hats and Flower Show. My goodness, she was going down. I was like, wow. Hello, Madame Cobbah.
Hi,
So good to see you.
Good to be
Should I
with
play the
you.
video of your dance as well for them to see that you got it?
That was only for you.
Oh, that was only for me.
That was for
I
you.
didn't know that. I didn't know. I would have kept it a secret.
Please
but
keep
it's,
it a secret.
it's probably one of your prized attributes because some of us are very deficient in that.
I'll help you.
That would be great.
I'll help you.
So good to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look so well. And this outfit.
You
Wow.
like it?
I love it.
I wanted to match you. You're in black. So
Yes, and you're brown and everything to the T like that.
I'm
did
on
you just
point, right?
You are so on point.
Hey, you have to be on point because for us communication people,
Yeah.
it's not just what you say.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
how you appear. And
Well,
at IPR, Institute of Public Relations,
That's
Ghana, we
right.
say image is everything.
girl, this image
So-
is speaking.
Oh,
Believe
thank
me. Look, guys, you can actually check it out on our Facebook page, the video for this conversation, and see how she's looking really glam.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
The Stratcomm African ladies, they wouldn't let me out.
Yeah.
If I wasn't on point. Oh
I
my
see.
goodness!
Well, they all show up, eh?
Oh, they do, and the
Yeah.
men, they'll be eyeing me small.
Is it? You're releasing some things are happening in the office. See, I was
Oh,
telling you
yeah,
that
I
I need to come
love
and work
them.
there for a little bit.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, you need to come.
I love them. I love my
Yes,
people.
yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations. So good to
Thank
see
you.
you. A few weeks, that was 2 weeks ago, right? We celebrated the 30th anniversary of Stratcomm Africa.
Yes. It actually happened on 13th May.
Okay.
2024, and then last week we did the media soiree
Right.
and launch because
Yes.
of course you media guys are our partners.
Yeah.
Without you we wouldn't be here, so we had to tell you first, and then
Yes.
of course you help us to tell the world. So
No, I mean, the world
it's a
needs to know.
year-long celebration, so there'll be
Ooh.
things for different people.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like to celebrate with people.
Well, which part am I coming through then? Because I love the cake.
Every part. This is part of it.
Oh, good. That's exciting. That's really exciting. And if you think back 30 years, this journey that it's been that we're celebrating now, would you say it's that feeling of fulfillment? Is it the feeling of optimism for the future, or it's one of maybe uncertainty for the next 30? How are you feeling about this 30 years celebration?
Oh, it's a feeling of optimism for the future, because we've been pioneering in these 30 years and innovating, and through these impacted a lot of lives. And I always say that when you impact lives, you become relevant. And so the fact that we have stayed relevant for 30 years means that we can stay for another 30 years
Right.
and more. And when I look at the team that we have now, the team we've had in the past, and the team we have now, I have super hope for the future.
What
It's
makes you
been-
happiest if you look back right now?
When I look back right now, what makes me happiest is the fact that I'm not alone anymore. Stratcomm Africa is not alone. We started at a time that there was hardly any 360 communication agencies in Ghana like ours.
Yeah.
We took the bold step and we did it. And it was sometimes discouraging because a lot of people do not really appreciate the value of professional communication. But I personally made it my aim, my passion, to help people to understand the importance of communication for human existence, for national development, for corporate productivity and profitability, and of course, for improved human livelihoods. And I'm happy to see that the profession has grown in Ghana. Now, a lot of people want to be in communication. Now, there are a lot of educational institutions that are offering communication. So I look back with satisfaction. I look back and I remember how difficult it was, but the difficulty became an opportunity.
It was difficult?
It was extremely difficult.
Oh, wow. Thank God we don't look like our problems, because
Oh.
you look like you got it all sorted.
Because I enjoy my work. I tell people it's a hobby. I'm doing my hobby and I get paid for it.
Yeah.
And I get the satisfaction of serving people. I mean, Stratcomm Africa is in a business of service.
Yeah.
Public relations is a business of service. Communication is a tool for bringing understanding. And for me, when there's understanding, I'm a happy woman.
Yeah.
And therefore, it was difficult, but I could also see the value that it would bring
Okay.
if I persisted. And therefore, I persisted. And today we're here.
Yeah. I will really love to know about all those challenges that you overcame to get here. But before that, there's one thing I would like to find out. If you had to do this all over again, what wouldn't you do?
What wouldn't I do? I'm not sure what I wouldn't do, because everything that seemed difficult or unpleasant gave me a lesson for a more pleasant future. So everything has been beneficial. As when you come to my office, one of the things that I tell staff all the time is a mistake or a failure is a resource depending on how you use it. So whatever has happened has been an opportunity for growth. Growth and comfort cannot coexist, as we say in Gestalt language. That's another side of me. I'm a Gestalt practitioner. You can't grow when you're comfortable all the time. There has to be some discomfort to enable you to grow. So I have enjoyed the discomforts. And as I say, I also do not really have any regrets.
No, you
because no,
Not
I
even
take it that as human beings, like the biblical sower, God gives us seeds that we go out every day to throw out. Some will fall on rocks.
Yeah.
Some will fall on thorns. Some will fall on the pathway. They will die. But there are many others that will fall on fertile ground. You take lessons from those that fell on spaces that did not thrive. You take lessons from there. Next time you look at how you throw your seeds.
Yeah.
And then you enjoy the fruits from those that fell on fertile
Well,
soil.
good stuff. Anyway, if you're just joining us, it's Madam Esther Cobbah here on Personality Profile. If you have any comments you'd want to share, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 055-1111-997. You can actually send a comment as well to our Facebook page, and we would gladly read it. Now, let's go to the beginning. I want to know where you're from. I want to know a bit about your upbringing and how you ended up where you are. So let's start from the very, very beginning.
The very, very beginning, I was born into a very loving family with my mother being the rock of the family. I'm the last of 5 children.
The last of 5 children.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm baby last.
Ah.
Yes, and I enjoyed it very much.
I can imagine.
I enjoyed it until the age of 11 when my mother traveled with me to Mofretro boarding school in Kumasi.
That's in Kumasi, yeah.
Yes, I'd never been to Kumasi.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Secondary and Comenda.
Okay.
So at that time that we went to Kumasi, I was in school, Comenda Local Authority Primary in the Central Region. I started school in Secondary, went to Salt Pond. My father was a postmaster.
Okay.
So we got transferred quite a bit.
Was that why you went to Kumasi?
No, I went to Kumasi because my mother decided that I should go to boarding school there. That was Mofretro Girls Boarding School.
At the age of 11?
At the age of 11. It was
Why?
a very good school, a good finishing school. And at that time, if you went there, there was a possibility that you could go to Wesley Girls High School. So
okay.
she took me there. And she took me on a Friday, and by Monday she had died in an accident.
Oh dear.
So she died when I was 11 years. And the sad thing is that my older siblings were all in boarding school. And so I was home with her. I did a lot with my mother was an entrepreneur. She baked bread, she sold at Mankasim Market, she sold at Commander Lorry Park, and I did it with her. So we would go to Mankasim Market together. So it was really a very close family situation, and then she left.
That's sad.
Yeah. It was.
At 11, did you really appreciate what had happened?
Oh yeah, I did. Because
How did that affect you from that point?
At first, it made me almost give up because I thought, what's the point? She was my everything. She had taught me so much. I can say proudly that a lot of what I'm able to do now, she taught me. She was very hardworking and was able to do so many things at the same time. But then I thought again, why don't I grow up and do things that would have made her happy? And my 3 brothers, Dr. Cobbah, and Mr. Cobbah, and my sister Martha Cobbah. They were very loving, just as my mother had been, and they supported me, and of course the rest of the family. I came to live in Accra with my aunt after staying with my grandmother in Comenda for a bit, and but I think my mother had taught me, instilled some sense of determination in me.
Okay.
And also, she used to pray with us a lot and teach us the word. And so I went to God each time I was unsure. So my faith really became strong after her death in Mofretro. That's when I gave my life to Christ.
Oh, wow.
And I've never looked back.
And your dad?
My dad, my mother and my father separated when I was about 6 years. And my mother died 5 years after.
Okay.
So my father, as I said, he was a postmaster and often very busy and,
So he wasn't around much?
A bit. I mean, I spent a bit of time with him, but not as much as I did with my mother.
Okay.
My mother, Victoria.
Do you think that if your father had been in the picture a bit more, it would have done anything different to your upbringing?
Maybe now that I've done work with UNICEF and studied early childhood development and all that, I feel that maybe as a child I would have been a bit more confident. Yeah, people say I'm confident now.
And I'm wondering what you mean by a bit more. I mean, with all this confidence,
I don't know.
probably
but
an overdose, huh?
I don't know, but I think that my mother really compensated for what my father was not there to provide. But I
Yeah.
take it that was their business.
Yeah.
What is important is that she brought me up to be who I am today. And thanks to the rest of my family that, gave me support when my mother died, my aunt, Mrs. Akomensa, that I stayed with, my grandmother, Lucy Sam, all the extended family, even uncles that were not my mother's
Yeah.
direct siblings, they were all there to encourage us.
So the mission to head to Wesley Girls through Mofatro, did it materialize?
Oh yes, it did. It
Oh,
did. I mean,
okay.
I enjoyed Mofretro very much. Mofretro was fun. It was hard work. I
Yeah.
mean, gardening. The Ghana garden and flower thing that I do, I think it was from my mother's planting and the gardening we did at Mofretro. Mofretro means children's garden.
Children's garden,
Yes.
yeah.
So, yes, after 2 years, I passed my common entrance and went to Wesley Girls High School.
Okay.
The dream came true. And I was there for 7 years and I became senior prefect.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Even with Madame Cobbah gone. You see
That's
how
nice,
she had.
yeah,
And my
yeah.
brother, the one I come after,
Yeah.
also became senior prefect at Infantsipim. So this
Interesting.
woman,
Yeah,
had
this confidence
something.
conversation, please. Don't. You've got
it was
abundance.
discipline. It was discipline.
Yeah.
She was a woman of excellence. In our house, mediocrity had no place. But she did it gently. She wasn't strict. She wasn't hard.
Yeah.
She was very loving, and therefore you sought to do the right thing
Yeah.
and the proper things out of love for her
Yeah.
and for God.
Do you think you're the woman she was?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Maybe in the corporate space. But she created her own corporate space, which
Yeah.
I really admired because she did so many things. And sometimes I look at myself and I said, if I had taken on all those things that Ma was doing, I'd be manufacturing a lot of things by now. But anyway, I wanted to get into dealing with human behavior. And that's why I found myself in.
That's one of the things that I actually wondered, because at the time, probably after Wesley Girls, sure a lot of people would want to get into the more popular professions, right? I don't know how communications was popular at the time. How popular was it?
It wasn't popular at all. In fact, people saw people in my profession as glorified messengers.
Oh.
You arrange lunch, you take people to the airport to travel, those kinds of things. And but when I was living in Secondary and my mother used to travel with us to Commander a lot of the times, I would look at all the communities around and wonder, what could be done to bring development into these communities. Also, because of my mother's business and how we wanted to promote the things that she did, everything from toffees to cakes, biscuits, bread. She was knitting, crocheting, selling eggs. All these things were being done. And I thought, how could that have become a big company? And then I used to be interested in how news spread, even as a child, in Comenda.
Okay.
I mean, there was somebody who would go around at that time, was like barter. So I have money, I want to buy eggs.
Okay.
And then if the chief wanted people to know about something that was happening, it would be through the town crier
Yeah.
and all that. And all those things intrigued me. So after I finished my first degree in Legon, I just felt I wanted to study something that would enable me to go back into my community to help to develop the communities, help facilitate livelihood improvements, and let small businesses expand.
Okay.
I'm also somebody that likes peace. If the great commandment was created for anybody at all, it's me. Love your neighbor as yourself. And as I believe, God doesn't tell you who your neighbor is. Your neighbor might be somebody that annoys you so much, but then you have to love them. And I wanted to study something that would enable me to live the life that I like. I didn't want to study anything that is so hard and unreal.
Yeah.
I wanted something that I could use in my regular life.
Okay.
And then when I finished my first degree, the School of Communication had been running for some time. So I applied to go there. And boy, I was happy because I began to learn the principles of human engagement, human psychology, how to, as we say in Gestalt, join to shift, how not to impose your views on somebody, understand them and work with them to create shared understanding for, good, harmonious existence.
Yeah.
How to work with organizations to expand, to deliver their message, build meaningful relationships, and make their products beneficial to their consumers, and for the consumers to have a say in what companies give to them. But above all, how to communicate with a small community so that they do not get malaria, so that children don't die from diarrhea. I thought, this is exciting. This is what I want to do.
Right.
And so communication became it for me. I went to School of Communication after my national service at Presec. I taught at Presec.
You did?
Yes, I did.
You know, I attended Presec, huh?
You did?
I did.
Bad boy. Oh, I love my Presecans.
Yes, yes.
And so
yes,
after
yes.
that, I studied public relations and journalism at the then School of Communication, and then worked at the U.S. Information Service. I did my internship there for about 6 months, and then went to GIHOC, Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation.
Oh.
And the interesting thing is that a lot of people do not know that space across from Kempinski Hotel,
Right.
which also now houses the IPR Ghana office, was my first main office. So for me, becoming president of IPR Ghana and going back into that space
Just poetic.
takes me back. So I
Yeah.
became the public relations officer there, looking after about 26 companies. Later on, about 2 more were added, Cadco and all that. Kwame Nkrumah created Gihok, with different manufacturing companies in different parts of Ghana. So I started off there after my 6-month internship, and then after 2 years, I got a benefactor just paid for my fees to go to an Ivy League school. And when I got the school, I didn't know it was an Ivy League school.
Cornell.
Cornell University. I did not know. And before I went, I found the school whilst I was at U.S. Information Service.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to get a scholarship. At that time, things were hard. Reagan days. I didn't get the scholarship. Then this white man, American, who had met me whilst I was at Presec,
Yeah.
he used to come and visit my roommate. I shared the flat with another national service person. He came to visit me. He was a consultant for World Health Organization.
Okay.
And he asked me what I was doing. I said, oh, I'm here working. I've got this admission, and they've given me 2 years to try and get a scholarship. I'm not getting one. He says, okay, I'll get back to you. I'll see if I can get you a scholarship. He didn't get one. He decided to pay my fees.
He did. Just like that.
Yes. And what he said, the reason he did it, I say it humbly, but that is one of the things that drive me to do things with everything I have. He said, I observed you whilst I was coming to Presec, and I believe that if I support your education, I've said this to people privately. This is the first time I'm saying it publicly.
Oh dear, I can't wait to hear it. Okay.
He said, if I support your education, you will be an asset to Ghana and to Africa. So I want to do this.
He didn't lie.
So he paid my fees. But before then, Rotary Club had also put out an advert for scholarships for people in communication, and I had applied. I didn't hear from them.
You didn't get it?
No, I didn't hear from them. So Ralph Klump paid my fees. I went to Cornell University. After 1 year, he had challenges and said it would be difficult for him to continue.
Yeah.
So I went on my knees, and my knees spoke to God. I got a call from Ghana. My friend Dantua, she said, Esther, get in touch with Rotary International. You have become an international Rotary scholar.
Wow.
Prayer works.
Prayer works.
This is after a year. So Rotary International took care of the rest of my fees for the next year.
That's amazing, eh?
Yeah, so...
Divine.
Yes, divine. Because when I got the school also, and I wasn't getting a scholarship, all I did was pray, because I did not know where I was going to get the money from. So I thought I wasn't going to go. So yeah, so...
Two things for me. God will always show up for you if you speak to him.
Yes.
Second,
in accordance with his purpose.
In accordance with his purpose. Okay.
Yes.
And second thing, Presec is the best place to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being there.
If you're listening to me now, just go and drive around Presec. It's a blessing. You understand? Being on that land alone is a blessing.
But what happened to the girls? When I was there, I was mistress.
There were some girls.
Are they still there?
No, not
you
not
fired
anymore.
them. You got rid of
Oh
them.
no, I mean we needed them to come and bless us. So the likes of Patricia Bonai and all are very proud
But
of that.
let me tell you one of the things that made... At that time, the windows of the buildings, the classrooms had not even been fixed.
Okay.
I go into class, and the whole class is full with boys sitting at the windowsill and all that. And I'm thinking, am I going to be able to mark scripts from all these people? As exam time came near, the class thinned out, and I thought, where are they? Apparently, they had come to see this young lady who had come from Legon to teach.
Oh,
So he was
okay.
just
Yeah.
enjoying the fact that a young lady had come from Lagos outside national.
We needed that. I mean, we needed that. We're used to seeing only boys and
Yes,
men.
yes,
so-
yes.
Wow. I mean, that's a very beautiful story, and it's very inspiring. I mean, for anybody who believes in God, it's a
Yes.
testimony
Yes, yes.
that He will show through for you. He will come through for you at the point of your need.
Yeah, because, I mean, mother dead, go to Wesley Girls, become senior prefect, go to Legon. In fact, one of my lecturers also wanted me to even branch out and do a PhD because I did the study of religions.
Okay.
And I loved it. And I really loved learning about African traditional religion because it helped me to understand some of the things that we do.
Yeah.
And then it was getting into the School of Communication at that time was very competitive. I got in, and then PAV answer comes to tell me, Esther, and she spoke Fanti to me. What's it? U.S. Embassy, Yemfa, Ubimbra. We should bring a student. They want a very good one. And I want you to go because I know you will not disgrace me. Wow. For PAV answer to say that to me, for me, it was God holding my hand. So if today you're listening to me and your mother died early, make God your mother.
That's right.
You'll be sorted.
Amazing.
You'll be sorted. You'll get so many mothers,
Yeah.
including men who become your mother. Like Ralph Clump.
Yeah.
I didn't know him anyway, and he paid my fees. Like Rotary Club Accra West, which made me an international Rotary scholar. So this God that I serve, that's
No,
why I
this is very
say
inspiring.
try
Yeah.
Esther's God.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Lots of messages coming in.
Wow.
Let me read this one from Mate. This is Mate, as she calls me. I call her mom, even though I'm old enough. She's straight to the point. She's straight on point and always wants results. She's a great woman. Okay, Fred Mate, thank you so much. You can send us a WhatsApp on 055-111-1997. It's personality profile with Esther Cobbah here on Joy FM. Okay, so you're done with Cornell.
Yes.
Did you come back immediately?
I did.
You did.
I did.
You didn't wish to stay and probably explore opportunities there?
The interesting thing about Cornell University and other Ivy League schools is people come there to recruit. And I could easily have. But the purpose of study that I wrote was very specific to Ghana and Africa.
Okay.
And I knew what Ralph Clump had said. And Rotary Club had paid my fees, and it was all to come and contribute to the development in this country. And the things that I had studied, I thought that they were so exciting. They would be exciting to apply here.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't wait
Yeah.
to come back and contribute. And so
I mean, even when you were speaking a little earlier, I could literally recall a whole chapter of indigenous knowledge from my master's class. When you were talking about the town crier and communication and how to speak to the people and all of that. So it just made sense that you had to come back.
I carried water from wells and all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a commander girl.
Yeah.
That is now living in Accra.
One of the most interesting places you worked at was GNPC.
Yes.
You did a lot of work with GNPC. I think one of the biggest campaigns you run was the LPG gas campaign, the LPG campaign, right?
Yes.
That earned you an invitation to almost what half of the African countries to replicate that. Tell me about that
Yes.
experience.
I was home when I came. I wrote plenty applications. So if you're home writing applications, you're not the only one. No, it happens.
You wrote a
So
lot, huh?
I wrote applications and I sent them round, and my kids were little. And whilst I was writing applications, I was also writing proposals on how communication could be a tool for national development and organizational growth and all that. But I got invited one day by somebody who said GNPC wanted somebody to come and manage their expatriate teams, as part of investor relations. So that's what, because I had studied cross-cultural communication, and they needed somebody with that kind of knowledge and know-how to be involved with investor relations. So I went. So that was the assignment.
Yeah.
But then when I got there, I got to understand what GNPC was about. And I thought, these people, they're not serious. They need communication. So, without being asked, I undertook a study, internally and externally. But mind you, when I went, I didn't even have a desk. I was given a borrowed desk. Somebody had gone on leave, so his desk was given me. So I did the study, and on the basis of the data I gathered, wrote up a paper on the need to set up a corporate affairs, external public affairs department. And I found out after I presented to management and to the board that it was actually part of the institution development plan of GNPC.
Okay.
So it was accepted. That's how come I was allowed to set up a public affairs department at GNPC. And soon after that, Ghana decided to promote the use of liquefied petroleum gas. And at that time, the focus was on institutions like hospitals, restaurants, etc. I said, but what about those that are cooking with smoke, cooking with wood fuels all the time? Remember Commander Girl, Buchia, Funo, and all that, and Apo for smoking fish. So I thought we should take them also off. So that's how come I got social scientists and mechanical engineers from tech, put them together, did a nationwide survey, and based on that, came up with the clean cook stoves, the three-legged stoves that are now so popular around, and with the gas and all that. In the north, we had donkeys distributing gas. It was quite exciting. I always like to fuse contemporary with traditional. And so we did that, and it became popular, and I was invited to Cote d'Ivoire, etc., to go and help them to do.
I'm just realizing how fast the time is moving. Goodness. But we need to talk about Stratcomm.
Okay.
So at what point did you decide that, okay, I'm going to go in deep on my own?
Remember, I was jobless for some time. And as I said, I was writing proposals. Anything I saw, I see litter on the roadside, and I think, how can we use communication to help address this? I see different things. I hear that people are not saving money, and I'm thinking, and Ghana needs investment. Then I think, how can we make people save so that we can mobilize resources locally for investors? So I was writing a lot of proposals. So at a certain point, I found also that there were some young people who didn't have work. And so I asked them if I could train them to work with those proposals.
Yeah.
And one of them, there was a project officer who agreed. And so every morning at about 5:30 a.m., I would teach her. And somebody else had and joined.
Okay.
And so I would teach them communication.
Yeah.
And because I really was wanting people to see the importance of communication.
Yeah.
And I decided that the profession that I love so much should not be looked down on. And it brings value. So
Yeah.
I should be able to share the value with people. So I got these unemployed young people, taught them, worked with them until they began to understand. At that time, it was a social enterprise called Center for Development and Intercultural Communication. It was set up to serve society.
Yeah.
Over time, it was registered as Strategic
Stratcomm.
Communication,
Okay,
Stratcomm, and then it became Stratcomm Africa. Yeah. So that's how
Yeah.
it started.
What's your biggest achievement?
I think being able to work with a lot of young people, a lot of people with little experience in communication, and helping them to appreciate that communication work can be delivered with professional excellence, helping and also working with people to appreciate that communication is a professional discipline, and that just because you can talk or write does not make you a professional communicator.
What was your
Yeah.
biggest challenge?
Finding the right talent. So you had to take people and train them and pay them.
Yeah.
So you're training, you're paying, and that makes it very difficult because it means there's only so much you can
Yeah.
take in. And then also people understanding the importance of communication, because somebody will buy this table and pay the right price for it. But when you give them knowledge, like consulting knowledge in communication, they feel that why should they pay for this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and people don't understand the value of communication. So it's been very difficult in terms of getting the worth of the value for the value that you have given to organizations.
What's the biggest lesson in life? This many years of living and going through all these highs and lows. What's the biggest lesson it has taught you?
It has taught me just to love and not bear grudges, because the different things that you do in life, in the corporate world and all that, will give you a lot of punches. And if you will take every punch seriously, and then your heart will be in trouble, because your heart is so small, and it was put there to pump blood to your every part of your body. If you fill it with resentment, you'll be one ball of resentment walking around. So I take everything that comes my way, look for the good in it, ask God to help me, and it comes from desiring it, and asking God to let His Holy Spirit work on you. So it's been difficult. Sometimes you're looking in the face of wrongdoing, but you have to hold yourself and just grow through it.
Alaji Abdallah says, good evening, Auntie Esther. Thank you so much for your mentorship. My Joy FM Business 2010 reality show. He says, I learned a lot of business knowledge under your leadership, and you have made me a better person today. God bless you. And I think there's another message.
Third Eye Security. Yes,
This one
Elijah,
says, I'm listening to your program online from afar, and I must say her story is so touching and motivating. I found myself in a similar situation like she said. I made God my father after the death of my dad in 2001, and I later made him my mother, as she also died in 2017. With his help and my determination and resilience, I'm currently doing a master's program in Canada. I want to remain anonymous. That's okay. Thank you so much for your message, though. We are grateful that you shared with us. I mean, this your story is amazing and inspiring, and I'm so happy that we got to celebrate you today on Personality Profile. If you had to part with a word of advice, what will it be?
Be who you are. Look within yourself and tap into what God has deposited in you. Use that to glorify Him and to benefit others. Your talents are given to you. I believe that my talents are given to me to glorify God and to benefit myself and others as well. And whatever you find yourself doing, do it very, very well. That is the thrust of how Stratcomm Africa was established and how we work.
Wow.
We deliver with excellence and to the glory of God.
There you go. Experience the Stratcomm Africa
Difference.
Yeah. I'm so glad we got to spend time together, and I'm sure your team at Stratcomm are so proud of you. And I saw the Institute of PR, Institute of Public Relations as well, where you're president.
Yeah.
I also know this weekend you're doing some lecture with the women in PR.
Yes, I am.
good
And we
stuff.
have a few other things coming up in the next week or two.
Good stuff.
We're
Good stuff.
establishing new things for PR in Ghana.
That's great.
It's a profession I love because
Thank you.
we're relevant to everybody.
Yes.
Hi, PR members. Hi, PR members.
Yeah.
Love you.
Thank you so
and
much,
thanks
Esther.
for giving me the opportunity to lead you.
Yes. We are grateful that you spent time with us on Personality Profile. God bless you.
Lexis, you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing. I admire you so much.
I'm grateful.
Thank you for
so
this
much.
opportunity.
You're
God
welcome.
bless you.
I'm Lexis Bill. Thanks a lot for spending time with us on Joy FM. It's 8 o'clock. We'll find out what's happening in news. Enjoy your evening.